At first, it seemed like any other ordinary week for Shiba Inu owners. While the price dipped and dipped again, holders anxiously perused their feeds, pondering when the next major shift would come. The fervor of the rally last month had diminished, and the Shiba army's most devoted soldiers were beginning to show signs of growing restless. However, during the wee hours of the morning, a shift occurred. There was no unexpected increase in price or tweet from a famous person. A burn rate, a numerical value, started to rise, subtly at first, and then with such force that no one could turn a blind eye. The number of blockchain watchers was initially quite small. Millions of tokens were transferred to the dead wallet, where they were destroyed and removed from circulation permanently. But this wasn't your run-of-the-mill automated bot or community project burn. There were more transactions, and the numbers were larger. The burn rate increased by 300% in a matter of hours, and the total number of tokens burned in less than 7 days surpassed 327 million. Groups on Telegram began to be very active. Is this what you saw? Someone uploaded a screenshot from Shiba and shared it online. Am I dreaming? Someone else spoke up, their jaw dropping at the rapid depletion of tokens. The word got around as soon as the light came up. X and YouTube influencers were quick to cover the news, with several offering theories as to the cause of the unexpected craze. Some mentioned a small number of unknown wallets that were burning up tens of millions of tokens simultaneously, despite never having done so previously. Many people were curious as to whether the development team was secretly planning something major. Speculation arose. An undisclosed alliance. Another method of burning. Perhaps there will be a concerted whale move to prepare for the next rally. Strangely though, the pricing remained unchanged. The price of Shiba Inus fell by about 6% as the burn rate increased. For an instant, the enthusiasm transformed into perplexion. Weren't we told that burning was a bullish strategy? Given that supplies were decreasing at an unprecedented rate, why would prices drop? As is typical with crypto, the answer was trickier than it first appeared. Despite the tightening of burn supply, they don't necessarily cause immediate rallies, particularly in times of market volatility. In that instant though, the price wasn't the real story for those who were paying attention. What the burn rate was laying the groundwork for in the next days and weeks was the main point. Subtly, the whales were breaching the surface. According to data recorded on the blockchain, a large number of tokens, perhaps hundreds of millions, left exchanges and made their way to cold storage. They weren't selling in a panic. They were savers, patiently accumulating wealth as retail merchants argued over the significance of the fire. The rapid activity of some of these wallets, which had previously bought before rallies, caused a wave of anticipation to wash over the community. Was this the quiet before the tempest, or is it just another sham in the crazy realm of meme coins? As expected, the development team chose to remain silent. Just a mysterious message from Shiba Inu, no formal statements on Discord or tweets. The most daring moves are often made while no one is looking. Because of this sentence, the community went into hyperdrive, trying to decipher its hidden meaning in every word. Did this portend a more significant development? That, or it's only another sneak peek to maintain interest. As a result, the technical analysts kept a close eye on their own charts. A rounded bottom, a common pattern for price reversals, had been established. Whispered divergence between the price and relative strength index suggested increasing momentum despite seemingly flat candles. Additionally, open interest in futures was on the rise, which could indicate that larger players were getting ready to act. The entire market seemed to be tense, as if it were waiting for something to trigger a chain reaction, but the fire itself was the true fuel. The community was under increasing strain as each new batch of tokens disappeared. Holders began posting images of their burns online and inviting others to join them. With the words "Let's make history" printed across a post, several of users showed their support by sending tokens to the deceased wallet. Everyone felt like they belonged. Price wasn't the only factor. The objective was to demonstrate the Shiba Inu army's ability to manipulate markets via pure force of will. The burn rate remained stubbornly high as the days went by. Speculation erupted in new waves with every new spike. A lot of people were hoping for a big Shibarium update soon because whispers started circulating regarding new features and collaborations. Some people did mention the time. In previous years, May had been a bullish month for Shiba Inu, and all signs pointed to another surge. However, a pessimist existed for each optimist. Caution, the wall of resistance right above 4-15 would be too strong for burns alone. Soon after, as if by magic, the market started to. The number of trades increased dramatically as buyers rushed to acquire every price drop. Major exchanges' order books became more low, and the price began to rise gradually. At least not at this stage. Still, the forward motion was plain to see. The whales appeared to have finished gathering. They were now patiently waiting for the market as a whole to realize their genius. The atmosphere in the Discord servers and Telegram groups was electrifying. With each new burn, the green candles were cheered on. There was a palpable air of anxious energy though. Beneath all the enthusiasm, the potential for crypto's volatility was well known. It only takes one negative report or whale dump for the entire plan to fall apart. Hope, however, was temporarily triumphing over fear. Experts began to adjust their projections. If Shiba Inu could overcome its present obstacle and maintain its pace, others expected a 100% rally. The historical pattern was cited by others. A comparable burn frenzy in 2021 had accompanied a 355% surge in a matter of weeks. Can we learn from past mistakes? Everything needed was on hand. There is a greater demand than supply, and the community is more involved than ever before. However, the timing was the true concern. When, if ever, would the breakout occur? A fine waltz between retailers and whales, hype and reality, and buyers and sellers determined the outcome, as it always does. The market's pulse was the burn rate at the moment. With every fresh rise, Shiba Inu is propelled ever closer to the brink. Anxietyist feelings were experienced as the week came to an end. As the burn indicator continued to rise, the neighborhood anxiously awaited further developments. For what seemed like an eternity, this was their chance. Getting ready for a huge breakout. The story of the most unpredictable meme coin in cryptography may just continue. What would happen after that was anybody's guess. One item, though, stood out. All was set for the Shiba Inu army. They would be ready for the breakout in a month's time, not tomorrow. Asphyxiating, clutching and convinced that their combined strength might transfigure landscapes. One question resounded through every conversation, tweet, and chart as the entire globe observed. Is this a wrap? Could this be the last push before the Shiba Inu makes headlines again? We shall have to wait and see. However, at the moment, the story is still in progress, the burn rate is increasing, and the whales are keeping an eye on everything. Leave your guesses in the space provided. In your opinion, might this current burning craze be the catalyst for the next rally? Are you resolute, or just waiting for anything to be confirmed? For all the newest updates, subscribe, and hit that like button if you're a Shiba Army member. Going out with a bang, this is Wealthy Coins. As usual, have fun, be careful, and keep asking questions.